Destination mark.
Hey guys, how's it going? Marcelo here, and thank you guys for 500 subscribers. That's pretty crazy. And we're really close to 600 too. So, I don't know if I'm going to do a 600 subscriber special because it wasn't exactly my intention to do something every 100 subscribers, but I'm thinking I'll probably do something pretty crazy for 1,000. So, if we hit 1,000 at some point, I will try and do something crazy for that. But I put up a poll to see what you guys wanted me to do for this subscriber special, and you guys were like top 20. I'm like, okay, on what? Crash levels. So, this will be kind of a long video. I'm going to keep it one whole thing, but this is my top 20 favorite crash levels. Let's go. At number 20, we have Road Crash. Road Crash. So basically all of the motorcycle levels in Crash 3. I liked them as a kid. I still like them now. Especially a little bit more now that I know really how to get a feel for the controls. Hopefully they fix them in Insane Trilogy. But in the original Crash 3, I remember having a lot of trouble with the controls. I still got all the crystals, the gems. I even did the relics and all stuff even when I was a kid, but it was harder back then, especially for the gem and especially for the relic, than it was now. Except that now that I've actually, like a couple months back or so, finally 105% in Crash 3, doing the platinums and the golds, fuck. I don't think I have any platinums on the motorcycle levels, but in particular, Road Crash is really cool because I love how it takes place at night, and I love that alien sign secret, road sign secret. So I think that one is my most favorite out of the 4 or so motorcycle levels that were in the game. So yeah, Road Crash from Crash 3 at number 20. Pretty cool. Number 19 is Lights Out from Crash 1. Again, kind of like for Crash 3 with Road Crash and all of the motorcycle levels. As a kid, I remember having, well, not a lot of trouble with Lights Out, but of the two, of Lights Out and fucking fumbling in the dark, I don't like fumbling in the dark. It was easy enough to get the key to unlock that level, but doing the fucking gem for that, that's the one that trips me up even now to this day. And you guys have seen it if you saw my 100% live stream on Crash 1, way back when. So, Lights Out is my favorite of the two because I do like how they play with the fact of Aku Aku, the idea of Aku Aku being your light, and I love how it looks and all of that. So, it's pretty fun. That one's pretty fun. Plus, it made a cameo in Baby Geniuses, which I thought was kind of funny. So, that level's cool though, and I like it a lot. I don't have a lot to say about it, but yeah, number 19. Number 18, Behaving from Crash 2. It's cool. It's gonna be really hard to explain why I like these levels in this top 20, so these are gonna be kind of short, but you just have to watch me play the games and see how much fun I have with them, with these levels. But for Behaving, again, I like the ideas, I like the concepts. Is it Behaving or is it the other one, which I'm forgetting the name of? Where you got that nitro stack that you can actually jump on, and it's a secret. So, I'm not sure if it's Behaving, but I like that secret. If it's not from Behaving, it's from the other one, which I'm forgetting the name of. It's right there. Unless I remember it, then I won't be right here, but whatever. So, Digging It. Yeah, see? Digging It. Don't need it right here. Okay, anyway. So, I'm not sure if it's Digging It or Behaving that has the Nitro Crate secret, but that was pretty cool. The spinning plants got on my nerves, I remember that. The ones that got on my nerves, especially though, the one segment, again I'm not sure if it's from Behaving, but the one segment that pissed me off as a kid was this short part in one of the 2 levels where they introduced the bees and there's the electric fences. That part I didn't like as a kid. Those parts are what tripped me up. The one enemy I thought that was pretty cool that never really was anywhere else in the game was that tiki dude that spins around with the two faces and moves like in a diamond kind of shape. That guy was kind of cool. It just had some really cool. I think this was supposed to take place in like the Alps or something, you know, in the mountains. So it was really cool. I liked the idea of the levels and the aesthetics of it, and it was pretty cool. So yeah. Number 17, Rings of Power from Crash 3. As a kid, I could not unlock this level. I had no clue what it was because I sucked at the time trials. So I only unlocked up to Area 51. I didn't unlock Future Frenzy to get the gems from those levels, from that level, and I never ever saw Rings of Power, so I had no clue what that level was. Then some years down the road, I finally saw some gameplay and I was like, oh shit, it's another Crash Airplane level, okay? But you're just going through rings, so I'm like, alright, that's different. You don't do that anywhere else in Crash 3. So, it was cool, and also, when I finally heard the music to it, I was like, oh shit, this is Fake Crash's music from Crash and Trans, so I'm like, that's kind of cool. But finally getting to play it after I 105% of the game, it's fun. Oh my god, it's fun. I actually find it a lot more fun than Crash's airplane level in the game. This one is more fun in my opinion. So, the part that's cool about it is that you go really freaking fast. So, I thought, okay, so we're just gonna, like, I had no clue that you could press square to do your little, you know, barrel roll, and that'll make you go faster through the rings. The only thing is that the controls are still the same as they are in the regular airplane levels. So it's a little stilted, so it's hard to turn, especially when you're going fast. It's almost impossible to turn correctly and turn sharply. So you have to pick and choose. There's strategy to this. You have to pick and choose the good time, the best times, especially when you're doing the relic, the time trial. You have to choose the best time to actually go fast. So when you have to make a turn or something, you're not gonna just like try and turn and just, it's gonna fuck it all up. So it was cool. Getting the gem was pretty easy, so I had a fun time with it. So yeah, number 17, Rings of Power. Oh, plus, Rings of Power is the name of a past Naughty Dog title before they worked on Crash. So, nice Easter egg. Number 16 goes to the Lost City / Sunset Vista in Crash 1. It was hard to choose which one I wanted on the list, so because, and pretty much only because, they share the same aesthetic, they're both technically considered numbers 16. So, Sunset Vista is way longer and tougher, but I found it pretty easy because of getting used to the Lost City, and the Lost City is technically the more, at least to me, technically the more iconic of the two levels, because you play it earlier than you play it first. So it introduces you to those kinds of new, like the freaking tipsy, you know, the 7 or so or 5 or so platforms. You step on one end and the other ones pop up. So there's a lot of cool things they did. I like the way, you know, that level feels. It feels a lot like the Great Gate or Native Fortress, but, you know, it's more ruinous than in, you know, a tribal place. So I like the way it was designed though. And Sunset Vista, a lot of people find that level hard, and I never found it really hard. It was just, it felt like it took a long time because it is a long level, and it's pretty much the longest in the game, let alone of these two levels. So I get why it feels so difficult because it's long, but in terms of actually getting through the level, the only one part that I still, my butt clenches with fucking, like, nervousness to this day, is the part where you get a checkpoint, and then there's the pushy platforms that are like the pillar looking ones, and then the little others, more like slim ones. And the timing on that, I don't know what they were thinking when they did that, and it was actually harder in the beta prototype if you saw me do that. It was harder to get used to it there, but in the actual game proper, since it's actually, technically it's fleshed out, but it's still, the timing is weird with that part. And that part always makes me like nervous when I'm doing that. So besides that part though, it's not the only hard part of Sunset Vista. Getting the Cortex, that's the first level to introduce the Cortex tokens, so you can get the keys. I found that to be pretty cool. I didn't find it too hard when I first found that out as a kid. It's cool. I like the music. Oh, one cool thing that I always talk about, and you see it really here, the most prominent in these 2 levels too. Now that I think about it, you can see Cortex's, you know, the island, the 3rd island with Cortex's airship and all that, as early as like the Great Gate. Actually, as early as the fucking 1st level for Insanity Beach. But where I personally first really realized this, the amount of detail they put in to where the more you progress, the closer in certain areas where all you see is just sky in the background and you can see the 3rd island if you're not on there already. Cortex's airship, it gets closer. That's a really nice attention to detail. And you can see it where in the Lost City, it's pretty far away, but then in Sunset Vista, oh, it's way closer, because you're already almost off the 2nd island. That's pretty cool. I mentioned it in my quick reviews on the first game, so I like that detail a lot. And these two levels are where I actually first saw that and noticed it. So yeah, it's really cool. I dig it. So number 16 goes to both of them. Number 15 goes to Rocket from Crash 2. It's the easier of the 2 Rocket Jetpack levels. I like it a lot. The fucking music, the aesthetics of both the levels, but mainly Rocket is just... I think the reason why I didn't put these 2 on the list the same way I did Sunset Vista and the Lost City is because I prefer Rocket way more than the other one. Spaced Out, Piston It Away. No, I'm going through all the levels in my head. Pack Attack. Okay, there we go. Rocket is easier, and it was more fun to play in my opinion. Now the controls for both these levels take some getting used to. Again, I hope they fix it. They are going to fix it in Insane Trilogy. But controls aside, because I'm used to them, but they still once in a while. If I haven't played the levels in a long time, the controls will take a little bit getting used to again, even for me. But Rocket was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I love the detail in that level, and again, the music is just so fucking good in that level. So, not a lot to say, but it's fun. So, yeah. Number 14 goes to Bye Bye Blimps from Crash 3. Like I was saying in the Rings of Power segment, Crash's regular airplane level, I didn't really care for it too much because of, not the controls or anything like that, even though I did mention controls in Rings of Power, but Coco's level is so much easier. The blimp, you can shoot it wherever, and they go down in like 4 hits, and there's 7 of them. So it's really enjoyable, and it's not that bad. The only thing that makes it bad are the fucking lab assistants shooting at you. But if you shoot them back, and you dodge and weave and do everything, you're gonna be fine. And it's pretty easy. Doing the relic for that one was way easier than doing it for Crash's level. Because in Crash's level, you got 5, yes, it's less than the 7 blimps in Coco's level, but in Crash's level, it's 5 airplanes, and they've got the little motors, the propellers. You have to shoot both of them down on either side of the plane for each plane, and it gets really annoying because of the guys who shoot at you and all that stuff. So that's how come I definitely prefer Coco's level over Crash's when it comes to those kinds of levels. The fact that they can even do this, the amount of detail on stuff that they put in, even though like I always thought it was really funny how it's supposed to be down below and it's all the fields and such all down below, but really it's just a bunch of square patches on these hills, and it looks really funny. But again, hopefully Insane Trilogy puts a lot more detail into that. But the fact that it's a really open area, I liked it, and I like the fact that it's pretty easy to get a hold of. You can, you know, defeat all the blimps hella easily and all that stuff, so I found it really enjoyable. So yeah. Number 13 goes to Tomb Time from Crash 3 also. There are like 3 or 4 Egyptian levels in this game, but the very first one, Tomb Time, I like it a lot. I just like the fact of how short it is and how easy it is to get used to. That's where you are introduced to the snake and all the other Egyptian level themed hazards like that. It's really fun. The music, the level of detail, and the hieroglyphics and all that stuff. I know Vicarious Visions, like they did in Entranced, are going to have fun once again putting in a lot more detail in the hieroglyphics in the hieroglyphics in the remastered Crash 3 for Insane Trilogy. I know they're going to do a lot of cool stuff with that. Hopefully, they put in Morgan. They have to keep Morgan, because Morgan, Naughty Dog's, you know, I think she belonged to Jason Rubin, I think. Their Labrador. She was put in there as an Easter egg, and she passed away around the time of, I think, Jak 2, so that was very unfortunate, but I think she was really old anyway. But the fact that she was in there as a cool little piece of detail in the hieroglyphics for Crash 3, I hope they keep her in there for the fact of, it's Morgan. If you don't know Morgan, watch the PlayStation Underground stuff that she was in. She's cool. she was Naughty Dog's little mascot, so that's kind of cool. So, Tomb Time though, back to the topic at hand. It's cool. I like it. So yeah. Number 12, Slippery Climb from Crash 1. It's not that hard for me now. It's still one of the toughest levels in the game, don't get me wrong, but I find fumbling in the dark a lot more, difficult, at least to complete with the gem and all that, than Slippery Climb. And Slippery Climb for the gem, oh, I never really went for the gem as a kid. It was tough. That level was the hardest level for me to complete in general. And also to get the gem on was like almost impossible for me back then. Now that I've gotten so used to it and I've been able to adapt to it a lot easier, it's not too bad, it's not too hard. I did get to play Stormy USA when I was doing the prototype playthrough, and now I was using save states, but even that level, I liked the way it was designed. I can see why it's hella hard and why they cut it out because it was so hard, but it also, in its own right, wasn't too bad. But again, I probably would have been raging a lot more if I didn't have save states on my side. So, it's probably a lot hard trying to one-shot it, and I can imagine getting the gem for that level would be even more impossible than getting the gem in Slippery Climb. But back to Slippery Climb, it really tests your platforming skills and everything you've learned in these 2D segments, from Great Gate to Lost City to Heavy Machinery and Castle Machinery. Like, actually, this comes before Castle Machinery, so Heavy Machinery. It really tests your skills, and it's awesome for that. I really like it. So the music is also really fucking cool and creepy and atmospheric, so it's really like, you better watch out, kind of. It has that kind of feeling to it. So it lets you know, oh, you're at the end of the game, you're gonna have a hard time. But it's cool for that, so yeah. Number 11 is Road to Ruin from Crash 2. Again, one more time, of the two partner levels, It and Ruination, I really like Road to Ruin a lot more because, again, I like the whole Lost City, Sunset Vista thing. You first, of these two levels, you first complete, you get to Road to Ruin first, so it's a little bit more iconic in that sense, because the more you play the beginning of the game and you get to that point, that's the level of the two that you'll see the most. So, plus fucking Ruination is more trolly, because there's this part in Road to Ruin where there's a bunch of freaking crates you could just go through, although there is one TNT crate, so you have to be careful. But in Ruination, they start off with, like, there's a big stack of crates, but there's like a fucking nitro behind them. So it's like, oh, you want to just blaze through them? Yeah, well, if you don't have an alcohol crew master, you're dead. Ruination is a lot more trolly, and it's difficult, but it's not that difficult because I know the game, but it is a lot more trollish than Road to Ruin. Because Road to Ruin is your, again, introduction to this kind of level, because there'll be one more later on. I like it for that, so yeah. Alright, now we're into the top 10, and for number 10, it's Hang 'em High from Crash 3. Okay, so Road to Ruin / Ruination wasn't the last example. For this one, Hang 'em High is the first level of the Arabian levels, and it introduces you to all those hazards and such, and I find it really enjoyable. So, it has a simplistic layout that combines both the 3D and 2D aspects like most Crash levels do, for the most part, and again, the music is really kick-ass, and you know what? No, this level doesn't have a, or does it? I'm not remembering. No, it does. No, it doesn't. Fuck. I'm flip-flopping. let me get to my question. I was thinking, does this level have a death route? No. That was my whole thing. Because I was like, wait a minute, there's the yellow gem. But wait a minute, you have to unlock that. That's like the first level you unlock in the secret 6th warp room of Crash 3. I'm sorry for just totally rambling on. But it's cool that I believe that is the first level that introduces you to the in this game in Crash 3, it introduces you to the color gems. I think you can even see it like way off in the distance. I think Hingham High is there's an Arabian level where it's got a frickin' color gem and you can see it way off to the side during one part in the 2D segment. And I saw from a Cat Icarus video, if you go out there far enough and you're skilled enough, you can actually kind of glitch out of bounds and make your way over to there and skip that entire area and get that gem, which I thought was pretty cool. But it's very fucking hard because I tried and I failed. Duh. So Hingham High is cool. I like it a lot. Fuck the guys with the scimitars that go and they cut your pants off. Don't like those guys. But the level's cool, so yeah. Number 9 goes to Temple Ruins from Crash 1. Just, again, the atmosphere, the music. I really like how there's not a whole lot of detail. This is one of the first levels where there's, like, not a whole lot of detail at all. So you're left going, oh shit. There's, like, mainly blackness with torches and lights here and there and fire, but, oh, you can just fall wherever. And the other levels to do this are levels like, kind of like, I guess, Road to Nowhere and the High Road. And then there's, I'm also really mainly thinking of Generator Room, which has just this open space that you can just fall wherever, but, you know, of course, it's a test of do not fall. So this is the first level to really introduce that, and I like it for that. And because mainly everything is just shrouded in darkness, you really have no clue what the temple itself looks like, which is really cool and really foreboding. So as a kid, I never got freaked out by the atmosphere and the music or anything, because the music does sound a little bit creepy in hindsight, but I like it for that. And it's the first real level that goes, oh hey, you're getting really close to, you know, you're in the middle of the game now? Yeah, it's gonna get a little tough, and also, we're gonna scare the fuck out of you, as a kid anyway, with the atmosphere and all that. So, it's the first one to be like, yeah, don't fuck up. So, Dress of Darkness also has a lot of iconic moments in it too, but this one's more iconic because you get to it first, so I like it for that. So yeah. Number 8, the real deal, the eel deal from Crash 2. I'm just gonna roll with it. Well, a lot of these are because they're the first level of its kind in each respective game. It's the first sewer level. I like the way it looks. I like the music. I told you guys, there's gonna be really short segments because I have no real clue what to say about why I like them, but I really like these levels. There's nothing incredibly special about the eel. Actually, there is. Actually, this one has the green gem. Everyone knows the green gem from Crash 2. If you don't know the green gem, I'm going to tell you how to get the green gem, but it's fairly easy once you know where it is and how to get it. But how to get it is like, what? So, that level is notorious for that gem. But getting it once you find out, oh, that's a thing in this game, but only in this level in this game, then it's actually not that hard to get it. You just have to not die. Just have an Aqua Kunas with you. There are no boxes in that short little segment where you get that gem. It's just hazards and whatnot. It's almost like a death route, as it were, but it's not actually the death route. So I mean, you know, it's cool though. I like it. The music's awesome. I hope that they really keep it faithful to the original in 10 trilogy, because it has that iconic, once you play that song, it's like, oh, that's from Crash 2. Like, it's synonymous with Crash 2. So, yeah. Also from Crash 2, number 7 goes to Barrett. First level, in its kind, of its kind. Am I playing it safe because of that? I mean, I don't know. I like, with these examples I'm giving, let me just go off topic a little bit. With these levels that I'm describing, how they've got their partner levels, sometimes 2 to 3 other levels of its kind with the same aesthetics and all that. I really do appreciate the first one of all of those kinds of levels. I don't know why, but I guess I'm incredibly boring for that. But, because you've got Totally Bear, you've got Bear Down, and then there's only like 3 of those levels, I believe. Actually, there's 4. Bear It, Bear Down, Totally Bear. Am I missing one? I feel like I'm missing one. And I don't know what it's called if I am. Whatever, let me know in the comments. I'm not going to put it up on the screen. But of all those levels, I do like Bear Down, which I believe that one is the sunset themed one, the afternoon themed one. Because that was one of the first secrets I found in Crash 2, where you can jump back on those little platforms and go back to that little slab of ice, and it teleports you to the freaking 6th secret warp room. That's cool. And that was the first time I found that kind of a secret. That was the first secret I found, a secret area I found that was like that. But Bear It is cool because it's the first level that introduces you to this kind of gameplay, and it's supposed to invoke the whole Hog segments from Crash 1 all over again, but it feels way tighter to control, and you can charge with Polar now, which is pretty cool. So it did a lot to improve over the Hog levels in Crash 1, but it still felt very familiar to those levels. So that's why I like it. Oh boy, number 6, Toxic Waste from Crash 1. It's probably one of my favorite levels in the whole game, just for the music. The music's really fucking cool in this level. It has no partner level, so it's a standalone level, but it's really enjoyable. As a kid, it didn't freak me out in terms of scare me, but I was always nervous about doing the last 2 segments where they introduced the bouncing barrels, because I never liked no one likes the bouncing barrels. I remember like when you get there pretty early and you kind of just wait off to the side on like a platform off to the side or whatever, you can hear like the and then you can see it barely like off in the whatever of the background you can see because the ceiling hangs so low. You can actually kind of see it coming, and then the pattern starts. They come, and then there's the 2 that roll, and then there's the 1. So and they actually use that pattern for some kind of barrel-like, pillar-like obstacles in Jak and Daxter in the first one. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was a callback to that pattern in Toxic Waste. But the fucking last segment where it's nothing but bouncing barrels, I'm like, oh god. As a kid, not that I couldn't get past it, but it was tough. And sometimes it's still kind of tough for me nowadays, but I can get through it pretty easily. It's a really fun level, plus I think you get the blue gem for getting all the boxes in that level, so it's cool. I like it a lot. That's why it's at number 6. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, now we're at the top 5. So number 5 goes to Toad Town, the very first level in Crash 3. As an introductory level, I really like it. I was going to say earlier, I don't know why, I was thinking this, I was going to say it has a very foresty feel to it, but it doesn't, because it's a medieval level. So, because Crash 1 has Insanity Beach, which is it's a beach, so it has some foresty areas in it, and Crash 2 has, you know, the pits, and the fucking other one that I can't remember right now, Turtle Woods, there we go, no need for this. Those are foresty levels, so I'm like, I was going to say, this has a very foresty feel to it, but it really doesn't. But as an introductory level for this kind of a game, with time traveling, plot and all that, it's cool. I really like it. The music is fucking grand. It's a really nice introduction to the game. It's an easy level to get, you know, a hang of for newcomers. I dig it a lot. I want to see how it's going to be like in Insane Trilogy for those who are going to be getting into Crash for the first time and see this in Crash 3 and be like, this is fucking cool. So, yeah. It's fucking cool. Number 4 is Hog Wild from Crash 1. Apart from Toxic Waste, this is one of my other favorite levels. As a kid, it was my number 1 favorite level to play in the first game. Just the fucking music is hella catchy. This level, you're platforming as Crash and every other level on the first island up to this point. Now you're running a fucking hog, and I was like, this is cool. This is really cool. As a kid, I enjoyed it a lot. It was tough for me to get a hang of when I was a kid, but now that it's one of the easiest levels I can do and get the gem on, it's not hard at all for me now, and it's really freaking fun. So the other level though, Whole Hog, funny enough, seeing as how I've always been comparing, well, from the first level that is like this in any given Crash game, and then its partner level, well, its partner level in this one, Whole Hog, is the first level you have to unlock in the game. Only the first one out of two, the other one is fucking fumbling in the dark. But Whole Hog, I don't have the most experience with because I never really liked to play it that much. It's tougher, but I don't care for its layout in terms of where they place the hazards and the boxes and all that. I really do like the way, again, it's more nostalgic to me. I like the way the layout is for the level design in Hog Wild. So, because it's introductory to this kind of a style, because you don't really write anything else in any other level besides Whole Hog. So, these are the only two where you ride something. Plus, they fucking trick you, because if you're kind of naive and you're like, okay, well, I just rode a hog in Hog Wild and rode to nowhere where you've got hogs that, you know, are running around everywhere. Maybe I can jump on it. Then you jump, and you can't kill them at all, you die. So, hogs are deceiving. That's what Crash 1 teaches us. So, Hog Wild, awesome. Plus the name of the level is also the name of the plane. Sully's plane in Uncharted 1, so Easter egg right there. It's cool. Hog Wild is really fucking fun. Number 3, again another animal riding level, Orient Express from Crash 3, the first Coco level you see if you've played them in order, and it's so fucking fun. Again, they took what they learned from Crash 2, which is what they took and learned from Crash 1, and they expanded on it again, and now you can charge infinitely as Pura, and it's fun. It's just really fucking fun. I love the music, I love how catchy it is, I love it. Another runner-up, I guess you could consider Midnight Run as well to be a runner-up, because I love the way it feels as well. It's night themed, it's really cool. I really wish they put in a third Pura level, because if they made like a third one, like a lot of these have day and then afternoon and then night themes, but Coco's, you know, Pura levels don't have that. So you only have the day one and the night one. But Orient Express, again, is more nostalgic, but Midnight Run is more clever. God, I'm stuttering so much today. With how precise you have to make everything. The jumps are more precise, there's a lot more going on the screen at any given time. The Relic is a little bit difficult to get, it's more harder to get in this one than it is in Orient Express. Plus, Orient Express is the first one you can get the time trial on right there after you get the crystal, so that's pretty cool. I like it a lot. That's why it's at number 3. Number 2 goes to Hang 8 from Crash 2. I love this level. I love it a lot. It's probably one of my favorites. Again, for like the upteenth time, it's the introductory level to this kind of aesthetic. So we see like at least 2 or 3 other levels, I think only 2 other levels like this throughout the game. But this one is found in the first warp room, so it's the first one you see of this style. And it's supposed to invoke the style and the look and the feel of Upstream and Up the Creek from Crash 1, but it looks more detailed, the music's more like hella catchy, and it's faster paced than the music from those levels. It's supposed to invoke that surfer feel, whereas Upstream's music is just more calm and serene. But Crash 2 with Hang 8, that's how come when I saw it in Nintendo Trilogy, I was like, oh my god, it looks a hell of a lot better, it looks so good. And it's very, very faithful, and then just looking at the two side by side, I was like, this looks awesome. It looks faithful, it looks really, really similar and pretty much identical to what the original looks like, and it's good, and I like it, so that's why it's at number 2. I couldn't refrain from it. Crash 1 is the first game I've ever played, so the first level I've ever played in a video game was Insanity Beach, and I fucking love it. So that's why it's at number 1 right here. Being the introductory level to this kind of game, it does so many things right. They could have went, and they did in the Japanese version, they could have went the tutorial route and had Aku Aku talk to you in English in this version and give you tips, or text could have popped up on the screen and all that stuff. No, none of that in this game, at least in the English version. It's super introductory because at the time, see, this level was important for its time because besides like fucking Jumping Flash or whatever it's called, Crash was one of the only other 3D platformers out there. We all know this. So I think the way Naughty Dog did it, introduced you to the mechanics without the use of a voice telling you what to do, or a text telling you what to do, or no kinds of hints or tips, nothing like that. You can reference the walkthrough in the manual, but I never did. I never even knew there was a walkthrough in the manual until I really read it, and I was like, oh shit, they straight up walk you through the first like 3 levels of the game in the manual. But I just played it, and it was fun. It's super, I actually want, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I had an idea for a series where I talk about like the first level of any given game in a franchise. I was going to start with Insanity Beach from Crash 1 because I love the way it introduces the player to all the mechanics, how everything is placed with the obstacle placement, the pit placement, the enemy placement, the way... This is the only level in the entire game which I do wish they did more of in hindsight because it's such a cool feature, is that this is the only level that, you know, feels almost like 2 different levels because you've got the exterior and the interior. So there's 2 different pieces of music that play. There's a trigger once you get to the top and you hit that checkpoint. There's an invisible part right there that there's a trigger where once you step over a certain boundary, the other music kicks in, and it feels like 2 different levels, but it's cleverly blended into one. And I really like the way that transition goes, the way they structure that to happen. And it's really cool. They kept it, of course, that exact same way in Insane Trilogy. I like the way they did it. So, as corny and fucking whatever as it is, I don't care. My #1 favorite Crash level of all time is the very first one from the very first game. It's what started the whole thing. And it's very cool, very clever, the way everything's placed. The music, of course, is very fucking catchy. It's the music from the title screen. It's cool. I like it a lot. So yeah. God, that felt like it took forever. I have no clue how long this video is going to be. Look down below. But, yeah, that's it. My top 20 favorite Crash levels right there from the first 3 games. I did consider doing from just the whole franchise, going through to Insanity, Crash of the Titans, Mind Over Mutant, of the main platforming games. But I figured, well, with Insane Trilogy coming out soon, and to keep it way more fucking simpler, let's just stick with the first 3 games. So those are my top 20 favorite levels from the from the original Crash Trilogy right there. What do you guys think of that list? What are your guys' favorite levels? And what are your reasonings for liking those levels from the 3 games? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys once again for 500 subscribers. Here's to 600, 700, and beyond. So that way I can have more of you guys to talk to and interact with and give me ideas for more subscriber specials. So, I'm Marcelo. I will see you guys later. Take care.